Hello, you guys. Happy Saturday. Hope that all of you are having a wonderful Saturday, enjoying hopefully a day off. Hopefully, you are free enough today to have a day off on Saturday, because back in the day, we would look forward to Saturdays. We always thought maybe this will be the Saturday that I get a day off inside of the hotel. But a lot of times we weren't lucky to have any time off because we were told that we really needed to save a world, and we needed to be there 24/7, 365. Hello, Ryan. I love it. JB. Thank you. My impressions last night. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was fun. Hello, Madam H. Good to see you. Well, you guys, today we have a very special secret guest. It's a mystery who this guest is, but it's a guest that actually I'm about to reveal her name in our description. As we are covering this Netflix documentary, The Program. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but I highly recommend that you all see the Netflix documentary, The Program: Cons, Cults, Kidnapping, and Scientology, which is what we are covering here. So this is part 2 of the reaction video we did yesterday to that corporate media segment that pitched all the stupid things that they were pitching in that corporate media statement that we revised and audited yesterday, you guys. So if you didn't see that one, make sure you check it out, because we're really going to start highlighting the parallels of the teen industry, so-called troubled teen industry, and the parallel of Scientology running its hotels and ranches, because they have those ranches, so-called troubled teen ranches. Scientology uses them all the time as well. So today we're going to interview a survivor from one of those ranches. So I want to start off by expressing my utmost gratitude for this person bravely stepping forward to share her harrowing experience with us. The revelations brought forth by Netflix, The Program: Cons, Cults, Kidnapping, shed light on the disturbingly similar tactics employed by Scientology's Mojave Desert School. That's very similar to the notorious troubled teen industry commercial building facilities. These commercial buildings where children were sent to get tortured and abused. As Paris Hilton has already come forward, as countless other survivors of those troubled teen schools have already come forward. Imagine, wouldn't you know, that Scientology, religion that it's not, also decided to set up its own web of so-called troubled teen schools and ranches that they were propping up. It's nothing short of abhorrent to realize that in the 21st century, institutions like Scientology are perpetuating a multi-billion-dollar industry built upon the systemic torture and manipulation of vulnerable children. The fact that this parallels the sinister practices of the troubled teen industry only serves to underscore the urgent need for advocacy and intervention. All of these practices require people intervening, stopping the abuse, breaking news that children cannot fend for themselves, nor can they be required to fend for themselves, nor do they know how in the hell to fend for themselves. Both Scientology and the troubled teen industry is telling the child that they're there to help them. So imagine that a child that doesn't understand what in the hell is going on, doesn't understand that they're not being helped, and that torture that they're doing on them is in no way, shape, or form helpful. Even though your parents tell you that you're being really helped, even though the people at the hotels or Scientology ranches or troubled teen industry facilities are not helping a single child by kidnapping them, holding them against their will, and abusing them. Breaking news to people that still want to make this a very confusing whatever. Our guest's first experience account on the horrors that she endured within Scientology's Mojave Desert School troubled teen ranch is a damning indictment on the organization's callous disregard for basic children rights and basic decency. Dehumanizing kids is not acceptable. Dehumanizing kids, torturing them, taking away their humanity is not a religious experience, nor is it an educational experience for the people way in the back that are acting like this is so confusing. We really cannot figure it out. The deliberate infliction of psychological and physical harm on innocent children under the guise of education or rehabilitation is nothing short of barbaric. We must unite in our condemnation of Scientology's heinous actions and demand justice for our guest and all other survivors who have suffered at the hands of this racketeering, criminal, child trafficking, and abuse state-sponsored institution, right? IRS, this is all state-sponsored by the IRS. Your taxpayer money is going to fund the IRS, who in turn funds all of these hotels, gives them all manner of incentives to exist and help themselves to kids. And then they turn around and pretend that they cannot have a shred of a critical thought over what L. Ron Hubbard pitched his proteges would be doing to children. So imagine that that's where in the hell we are today in the year 2024. The time for action is now, and our voices must ring loudly and unapologetically until justice actually prevails. Hashtag no more kids in Scientology. Hashtag kids cannot consent. Hashtag troubled teen industry. Hashtag billionaires. If you are a billionaire, you can break all laws to do with abusing children. Breaking news to all Americans. If you are a billionaire, you can break all laws to do with abusing children. Breaking news to all Americans. Hope you all have a great weekend. Hope all the billionaires in America, such as Jeffrey and Ghislaine, such as the owners of the troubled teen industry, billion industry that it is, and all the board directors, so-called board directors of Scientology, all the executives that really are trying to save a world by enslaving children. We're CCing all of you. So all of you literally be advised that you couldn't be more unhinged and you couldn't be more needing to be stopped, needing to be intervened, needing to be dealt with. When children were stuck at the hotel or in these schools, you guys, there was no advocacy. So here is our dear friend, Alicia. Hello, Alicia.
How are you? What an intro, Serge. I was back here just listening to you. I love it. I love this. I love that you do this. I love that you're speaking so loudly for the kids. It's important.
Thank you. Well, we are all speaking on behalf of our experience, which is the only resolve we get in the aftermath of everything that happened to us as kids. The unthinkable torture is that everything that was done to you in those schools is now being done to another
Child.
underage little
Yeah.
girl that
Yeah.
has no idea what in the hell's going on, whose parents are telling her, I mean, what was the pitch when you got to the Mojave Desert School, Alicia?
I didn't really get a pitch. I didn't know I was going. So it was a surprise to me that I went. I just thought I was going to eighth grade in public school, like I had been going to school. My alarm was turned off on the first day of school. I accidentally woke up because I naturally wake myself up. So I woke up, started trying to get ready really quick to not be late because I was really excited to go to school in eighth grade. And then I started waking up my sibling that's right younger than me because he would have been in seventh grade and I would have been in eighth grade. So we would have been at the same campus essentially for that year. So I started trying to get ready, and then my parents were acting really off. So they just kind of were like, you don't need to get ready. You have nothing to get ready for. And I was just like, oh, had a bad feeling, and I just kept getting ready because I was like, I don't know what kind of bullshit they're on, but I'm going to school. And so I was just trying to get ready really quickly. And then when I was pretty much ready, they were telling me I'm not going to school. I'm going somewhere different. I'm gonna be sent to a different place, and I didn't know where because I was just screaming. I was a real rebellious kid, so I was just fuck you, and you don't tell me what to do, and I'm going to school. Imagine a world where a kid is fighting to go to school. That is literally my life. I wanted to go to school, so I ended up having to be picked up and taken downstairs because my bedroom was upstairs. So I had to be picked up and physically taken downstairs while I was kicking and screaming and grabbing the banister. I was like grabbing that, trying to just get out of the situation, which I didn't know what was happening, but I knew that my parents were into the Scientology shit and I wasn't. And it was always a point of contention with us. And I was the one kid that really rebelled against it loudly. So I got put in the back of the car and I tried to open
You're
the
going
door.
with someone that's a complete stranger, or?
No, my parents. This is my parents.
Okay, so this is your parents dragging you.
Yes. 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 So I'm in the back of the car. My siblings are back there and they don't know what's going on either. So they're just kind of sitting there. So I tried to open the door really quick, door locked. So I thought, okay, I can jump out the window. And if I jump out the window of the car, I can run to our house at the time, had apartments in front of it and then a main street. So I thought if I can get to the main street, I can start running to school. I'll be late, but if I get to school, they'd probably not go there to pick me up because that'd be kind of weird, right? Like, I don't know. I was just trying to get to school. So they locked the windows before when I started rolling it down. So that was locked. So I was just in there screaming, yelling. And then we drove for, it seemed like forever, but it was like 2 hours probably into the middle of nowhere, still not knowing what's going on. So I
My
like, I
question was
still
that.
didn't know.
My question was that you
No
were.
idea.
So they
I
tell
had
you
no
they're gonna put you in the car for what, or what was? How did you get
You're
from
going
your room?
somewhere. Just that I'm going somewhere else. Like it's not. I'm not going to school. I'm not going to school. That's what it was. Just I'm not going to school. I'm going somewhere else. And nothing. And so when we got to the school, we didn't get to the school. So I went to Mojave Boarding Academy. I think it's Mojave Boarding Academy, Mojave Boarding School. I've seen it called different names. Essentially, yoga reader, or as Serge said, joke, because that's how her name is spelled. She was running the facility at the time. And when we got there, we got to her house. So she had her own house. It was on this like little man-made lake. It's in the middle of nowhere in the desert. It's called Mojave Desert School because it's in the desert. So I think the closest town is Barstow, California. And I think that was like 20 or 30 minutes away. So we had a highway that was mainly just used for truckers, no real traffic. And they got there and they were talking to her, and she was the person running the facility at the time. So I had been screaming and crying and yelling kind of off and on the whole ride. I was not sure what was happening and I wasn't liking it. When we got there, we went to her house and my parents talked to her, and I was able to get out of the car and go into her house. And her daughter was there. Her daughter was, I want to say 7, 8, 9 at the time. And I thought it was her grandkid, honestly, because she's an older lady, and I thought it was her grandkid, but I think I've been told it's her adopted daughter. So she was there, and so we were just supposed to like play together. And I was 14. Adopted. Yeah. Poor thing. And I was 14 at the time when I went there, just so that's very clear. So they talked and got whatever situated, because I don't know what they talked about. I wasn't there. And then we drove, and then I don't remember if, I guess we must have gone to the facility after. Now there's 2 facilities when I went. And just like in the show, the Netflix show that you saw, there's a program that they have you do, because they have to have a reason for you to be there, right? Like you're supposed to be doing school. You're not doing school, but they have to sell the parents on something. So for me, when I went, there was 2 different locations. The first location that you went when you first got there was called Life Basics. And they called that place the farm. That's what the kids would call it, is the farm. I don't know if it's just because we were animals, like at the bottom, like I don't know if the reference was just because we were a piece of shit. Like maybe, I don't know. And then once
like you said, Alicia, like, and just to give you guys a little bit of background on me, Mojave Desert School had that reputation. This was told to by your parents. You are acting very out ethics. You want to end up at the Mojave Desert School? Is that where you want to go with the rest of the out ethics kids?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd heard that after.
This was actually a thing between Scientology families. This was one of the ways that Scientology parents could manipulate their kids. It was used against me. You want to go to Mojave Desert School? Never mind that my parents didn't have enough money to even send me there. But that's a different story. But in your case, they would figure out a deal, you guys. They had all manner of packages. Oh, we'll give you this package. It's the special for this week. If you pay us before Thursday, we're going to give you a special discount. And then all of a sudden, they were taking kids, as Alicia and I were discussing a little earlier. Like she was being there for, I think, $1,000 a month is what they were paying to keep her there. Her parents. Imagine that you just, outsource your parenting to somebody that for $1,000 a month owed them nothing. Their kid was in the middle of the desert, in harm's way, as we're going to get into more details of what type of environment was this and what type of straight face everything was pitched with. Because again, all Scientology parents knew this was a hardcore school. This was literally word in the street. Oh, you're going to have to send your daughter to the Mojave Desert School. Oh, you got one of those. You're not one of the lucky ones with a past life clear, huh? Oh, she doesn't like it. Oh, she's saying that she doesn't like the technology of L. Ron Hubbard. What type of suppressive child is that doesn't like the technology of L. Ron Hubbard? Oh yeah, send her to Mojave. Send her to Mojave. She needs the discipline. She needs the ethics to be applied. I mean, that's
the insanity
what was being referred to. I mean, these ranches were not a joke. And everybody knew. So before anybody gets very confused, oh, did the parents know? Everybody knew. Mojave Desert School, all the trouble, all the troublemakers, all the kids that didn't like Scientology. That's all it took for you to be labeled a disgusting enemy. Fair game on kids that has never been admitted to or spoken about. What was this 14-year-old that wanted to go to school where there should have been mandated reporters? You would think that would have gone, oh, she came to 7th grade and she didn't come to 8th grade. Well, no, she was off in the hands of Scientology as literally her childhood was being outsourced to some deranged woman in the middle of the desert that sadistically gave herself the license to abuse kids that were not her own, get paid to abuse them.
Yep. Paid a lot of money too. I mean, in 2000, if they were paying a little over $1,000 a month, and most of the kids, most of the kids were there long term. Like I knew kids there 2-3 years, just living out of
We're
a
talking, how many
trailer.
kids were there when you were there approximately?
Maybe 35, 45 when I went there. It wasn't a ton. And I know they moved after I left. So
Well,
they
but
moved to a different state.
wait. Let's say that all of them are in that standard rate, because Scientology did a lot of specials and deals.
Yeah.
But $1,000 for 45. So this facility, this ranch, got $45,000 a month. Imagine getting paid to abuse kids with full impunity. Because then we're talking about the Troubled Teen had their own way of dealing with their supposed program. Scientology has only one program, the Scientology program. You cannot do anything else if it's connected to these people, because all they're going to spew at you is their program, L. Ron Hubbard's program. This is the ethics. This is how you get the ethics in. Come and get locked up in this room, sit down for 3 days straight with a piece of paper and a pen to write down all the criminal crimes that you have done. And it doesn't matter if you think you did them, or it doesn't matter if you don't think. You're not getting out of the room for the next 3 days until you start writing stuff down. And we better see that you're writing. If you don't write, you're not getting out.
You don't leave. Yeah. You don't leave. You're being held captive, essentially. So you do it to get out, or you sit in there and rebel, but you're still sitting in there. So you pick your poison of what you're going to do.
And the more you rebel, the more they double down. They triple down. And in Scientology, they didn't drug the kids. They didn't do that. That's right. Scientology was very proud. That's all it took for Scientology parents to go, oh, they never drug them, so they're great. So it's not child trafficking because they didn't drug them. It's not SA because they didn't drug them. It's not literally aggravated child abuse because they didn't drug them. She was kidnapped from going to 8th grade. Her own parents implicated in driving her to this place where, yes, this woman pitched that the kids were going to have an incredible, amazing thing and, leave it with me. I'm a Scientologist. I've been doing this for so many decades. I really have a lot of great ideas, a la Jody Hildebrand. Like sadistically, I mean, we have photos of this, you guys, and we're going to be breaking it down so that people can stop playing dumb, because it's called We're Bringing the Receipts. Not all in this live. Alicia and I have already spoken about this. It's going to take a while to decompress all the evidence that already exists. But very similar to the documentary Woman Here from Netflix, that it took them, the troubled teenagers that were abused, to have to do a documentary on themselves, because no one has been indicted. No one has been convicted. There's still a multi-billion-dollar so-called troubled teen industry where, yes, America will allow full-grown parents of teenagers the ability to outsource the parenting to whoever they can just pay to sadistically abuse their kids and teach them a lesson. Because you know what? That's exactly what kids need. Being taught lessons, being sadistically abused, being completely child abused, locked up, kidnapped, traumatized beyond belief because it's their fault. I mean, again, if you are a parent that really goes with the pitch that a bunch of strangers in a remote mountain are really going to be so morally reliable, then you know what? We can't help you. No one can help you. If you're that stupid and recklessly negligent as a parent to just dump a child, and I mean, Alicia, how much on the literal public record is there's already so much info about these places. It's not like maybe at the time that you got put in there, we'll give that to your parents. There was not that much because information was way more controlled.
It
The
was, yeah.
internet wasn't a thing and all of that. So they couldn't even do their research. So imagine Scientology parents that get told, give us your kids, but don't do the research.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, it's called, you cannot outsource your adult choices to another person. Because if you told me that same thing today, Alicia, it's like, oh yeah, I'm taking my kids to this place because I got told and I got told and I got told. So since they told me, then it must be, and you didn't check who was there and you didn't see what it was that they were going to be doing. It's like your kids require you to take that on as a problem and to really see if that's something that is going to be, if their comfort level is going to be, considered. Because, random adults, breaking news to everyone in our chat today. Yeah, random adults don't owe and usually don't give an F if their child is not even their own child. Alicia was just $1,000 a month that's coming in here, Alicia. You better like it. You better tell us how much you like it. I mean, what type of ethics or what were they having you do in this program?
So funny about that, I didn't finish any part of the program because I didn't like it. And I told them I don't want to be here. But I think they knew I was a flight risk because my parents knew that I would run away. So I think they warned them before, she might run, which was one of my childhood dreams, just let's run away. So I did think about running away.
14, you guys, just again, to understand the type of stress level that's on you as a 14-year-old to want to run away. It's not easy to feel that you're going to make it. I mean, I couldn't run away from the scene. Where was I going to go? My passport was locked up. My parents were unhinged. They were not safe people for me to go to. If I broke a billion-year contract, it was all going to get blamed on me. I owed these people hundreds of thousands of dollars already, apparently, because they were giving us courses. And again, yes, as a 14-year-old, you really do buy all of that bullshit. You really do think, oh, well, I did sign a contract and they told me I was an adult.
Yeah, that's manipulation at its finest. Because you can't consent to something. So why would your signature mean anything? So they knew I was a flight risk is my thought. And it wasn't a lot of kids when I went there. There was times when I think it had a lot more kids. So there's two different facilities or properties because it's literally just land and they throw trailers on them. So you're just living in a trailer with bunk beds. So there's one bathroom, there's multiple bunk beds, and however many kids there are. So I was really lucky. When I went there, I was the only girl. There was no other female students. So I shared a dorm with nobody besides myself. So in that, I was really lucky because I didn't have to share one bathroom with a bunch of other people or have people to rat on me. To be honest, because I did think about running away. So that was one of my first plans was I'm fucking running away because this is fucking bullshit. But I didn't know where I was. I still have to figure I still go into Google Maps to look. You're in the middle of nowhere. It's the desert. All there is one major highway. So I thought if I could run or, in the middle of the night, I thought if I can get off this property and then I could get to the highway because there's one highway. That's all there is. And then maybe I could hitchhike somewhere. But then I'm like, well, where am I going to hitchhike to? Number one, I don't know which direction I would want to go. Because do I go further into the middle of nowhere or do I try to go back into society? But then if I'm a minor by myself, will I get turned in? Will that be worse? Will I get sent somewhere worse? Because I thought there's worse places than this. I didn't know until I got there. And then I heard that there's worse places. Because again, most of my life was going to public school, thankfully. Most of my life I was in public school besides this little stint. And so my my mom had told me before she passed that it was her idea. I don't know if I believe that, but that's what she said before she passed, and she apologized for it because of the implications of just being shipped off somewhere. So she was under the impression that this was like a community for kids that were troubled, but it would help them. And the summer before I went, so the summer between 7th and 8th grade, there was 2 kids that were murdered in this small town that I lived in. And this is the thing that she said scared her so much, was that. And I was a wild child. I was never on drugs, guys. Like, it's the one thing I didn't really ever experiment with. And I wasn't really partying or doing much. I'm just loud. And I would tell my parents to fuck off all the time because I was raised to be myself. So that's what I thought was normal. Like, it was a struggle for my parents to be Scientologists and to want for me to have my knowingness and to be myself. But then to see that backfire, I think that was something that my parents didn't know how to handle, right? They wanted me to be myself as a Scientologist, to be gung-ho for it. But when I didn't, it became like, what do we do? And I was a handful, but not a handful so much that you could ship them off. I have 2 kids now. I have a 14 and a 15-year-old, and I could never. I could never.
There is no such thing. I mean, it's like you were
It's a rough stage
that
for
was
kids.
adultized. You were a child that wanted to go to school that was, I mean,
Yeah.
again,
Right.
in what type of troubled teen industry is ending up with kids whose crime it was that they wanted to go to 8th grade? I mean, I relate to what you're talking about because, you know, I only completed 7th grade and I was mortified beyond
Yeah.
that my parents were taking me out of school and saying, nope, now you're going to be an adult and you're going to train with the adults and you're going to become an auditor and you don't need to go to school and school is stupid. And L. Ron Hubbard told us that school was not something you need to be doing. Who cares if it's illegal? We're now in the US, so nobody misses you. No, there's no mandated reporters anywhere around Scientology children. In what world? Where the hell are all the mandated reporters that have mandated nothing? Where's the doctors of Scientology children? Nowhere to be found. Where's the teachers of Scientology children reporting on anything? Nowhere to be found. Where's the therapist and the psychiatrist? Oops, they're not allowed to go there because they really do have a big war going on. The war is against mandated reporters. So stop playing dumb FBI. Stop playing dumb child services. Stop playing dumb LAPD leadership. In what world are no kids being allowed or their mandated reporters screened to ensure that there's no abuse ever reported? Even when it has been reported, it still gets ignored, imagine. But in this case, there is not even any being reported.
Yeah, I wondered if that's why they moved, because they moved sometime after I left to a different state completely. They moved and they changed the name, I think, slightly. So I'm wondering how many times they have moved facilities, moved states, changed names slightly, just to not have that many complaints on this new name, on this new facility. I have no proof of that. I'm just curious myself. This is something that when I
think
finally
the proof is in the pudding, you guys. I mean, the fact that these schools are still operating
yes,
as we speak, you know, it's like we are now at this point of our lives where, you know, Alicia, you're a mother, you do rescue, you know the type of advocate you have to be when you are around kids. And for all Scientology parents to be complicit on having been enabling this culture. You don't want to be told you were in a cult? Fine. Let's give it to you so you don't reject it right away. You were inside a culture that revolved around a hotel where all parents made their children fair game to be abused. No kids could get ethics handlings. No kids could get audits. No kids could consent to be trained and groomed in salons where everything looked very childlike. Oh, here's your little doll. Here's your little teddy bear for you to drill this thing. They're going to drill and drill and drill and do a script and then drill it and drill it. And children and adults, they're all the same. Everyone's the same. I mean, it's really awful. And I really actually wanted to take a look at this, the trailer of this documentary, you guys, because I wanted to have all of you watch it, at least if you haven't seen the documentary. This is the documentary we're talking about that's on Netflix, the top rated thing on Netflix right now. Apparently everyone's watching this documentary. And yes, breaking news, the program cons, which this was, Scientology is a full-blown con, it's a full-blown cult. And you just heard from Alicia how she was kidnapped from going to 8th grade, ending up in the desert, desperate, trying to get away from the facility she was in. And we'll get into more of what happened there. But let's just kind of watch this trailer together, and we'll react to it.
What do you do if your child gets caught in a cycle of self-destructive or even dangerous behavior?
So right there, I'm sorry, Alicia, but it's like you were no type of self-destructive or dangerous behavior.
No.
I mean, imagine that you were not caught in any cycle. Like you were just like, can I just go to school? Can you guys leave me alone? Can you stop harassing me with your stupidity? I mean, you know, and then you were demonized. And even now you were like, oh, I was a wild child. It's like, what was your wildness that you could read through their BS?
Yes.
Like, you know, it's like you should really like honor the fact that you could see through it, and you weren't buying the delusion, you know. It's like, and it was you know, I feel for all the kids, because I mean, imagine it meant that you were actually not acquiescing to all of the dysfunction, and that was demonized because these people expected all kids to fall in line like robots.
Yeah, just conform to it, right? Just accept it and do it and be it and breathe it and live it. That's true. And depending on who your parents were and how hardcore they were, depending on how, like I had more of a room to backtalk. I know so many kids couldn't even do that. So like, to me, I get that. I'm very aware that I was allowed to be out ethics, like, right? I was allowed to speak my mind to an extent. It wasn't popular, it wasn't good, but there was kids that couldn't even do that. And we've talked to many of them since.
Yeah, and there were kids that weren't kidnapped. I mean,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like as you'll see here,
there's plenty of different scenarios. So okay, well, anyways, but just let the record show that Alicia was not doing any self-destructive anything. She wanted to just go to school.
Some desperate parents are having their children abducted, taken against their will to a behavior modification.
Were you guys all in uniform when you were there, Alicia?
No, but the pictures I sent you, when they're running in formation, they're in uniform there. So they've had uniforms, but when I went, no, we didn't have uniforms. So that's what makes me think that they changed the name, and then probably shortly after I was there, they moved. But I don't know the exact year.
Well, because what this is giving, you know, the photo that we're seeing here is with everyone wearing smocks and everyone looking like this. Is this picture that everyone can see here for yourselves right now, you guys? It's taken for law enforcement to go, oh, I see a school.
Right.
I see schooling going on. I see, you know, as if predators are going to be sending kids out like that in thongs. And then the FBI is going to be like, oh yeah, then that's abusive. I mean, what kind of ridiculous thing is this? And this is how they were dressing us up at the hotels, right? Because I never ended up at that ranch thing that you ended up in. But at the hotel, we were all dressed up exactly how these kids look. In khaki pants, wearing smocks, wearing vests, wearing ties, looking all very, you know, polished and academic, as if we weren't being child trafficked. It's all it took is to put a tie on us, and then all of a sudden we were very legit.
Yeah.
So,
Right. It makes you look like you're just doing the right thing. You're just some nice private
this
elite
is all
school.
optics, right? This is an optics game. And apparently, breaking news to all predators. If your optics are good, if all you do is put children to look like this, then don't worry. The FBI will never suspect a shred of a thing. You'll be able to make as much money as you want. The IRS will give you all manner of incentives to child traffic kids with full impunity. Literally, that's where we are.
Program.
The reality is torture.
I mean, and those images are so short, but I mean,
yeah, that's probably one of the harder parts to watch. If anybody watches it, they have videotapes from this particular school, school in quotes. They have videotapes of the adults in charge manhandling, abusing, beating the kids. So that's probably going to be the harder part to watch.
Well, and imagine that they left the surveillance footage behind. Imagine that they had surveillance footage. Look, there was somebody with a camera watching this. What type of disgusting, depraved adult would watch this and not be calling the police on their own staff? And imagine that we have the exact same problem in Scientology, where everything was being video recorded, every hallway, every audited room, every course room, there was a video camera everywhere. So what do we see here? This is not a crime. According to the FBI, this is an educational facility.
Yeah.
There's video of this. There's footage of all of this. It was left behind by the people that were running this school that only closed because they got fined $250,000 because they were so-called handing out illegal high school diplomas. Imagine there was no criminal charges against this man or anything else. That
none of the men, none of the women. And they have written documents of all the teachers saying what happened with incidences. They have it dated, time stamped, everything that happened.
So no matter how much kid abuse is done with full impunity in this country, documented, like in the case of Scientology, where they put it on a worksheet, they put it on an ethics file, they put it on a personnel file, they put it on a student file, on an ethics file, on a PC file. It was filed and filed and filed and admitted to and documented and written, but nothing is ever good enough for the FBI. Nothing is ever good enough. Photos like this is not good enough. Videos of this is not good enough. No crime against children is ever good enough. Nothing will pass. No case can be built. The law is very complicated. Children, better luck next lifetime.
Of children.
I got here at 3 a.m. and they said I was not allowed to talk anymore and you can never leave.
That's what they told me when I was sent to the RPF, you guys. In Scientology, the version of this ranch inside of the hotel, which is where I did end up for myself at 16, is you cannot talk to anyone outside of this group of people that included, but were not limited to, self-admitted pedos. You cannot talk to anyone outside of this group of people, because you are disgusting. You didn't complete your students on their courses. You're a horrible supervisor. You're pathetic. You are a disgrace. You need to be rehabilitated. And just like that, we weren't allowed to talk to anyone outside. And I mean, your communication was restricted too, right, Alicia?
Yeah. It was definitely restricted. I couldn't call home. The phones were they were like in an office that was locked. So you couldn't get to a phone at all. This is before cell phones too. So yeah, we couldn't. And I know that if we were to write letters, they would read them first. So I didn't think there's any point in doing that. I mean, I did look at all my ways. Like, guys, I sat there for my first week and a half. Like, how can I get out of here? Can I run away? Would that be feasible? You know,
Yeah.
the laundry list.
They were being treated like prisoners.
I had never done drugs in my entire life, but in order for me to graduate, I had to confess to using heroin, crack, cocaine, LSD.
They dehumanize the kids, that these kids are liars and manipulators. They use that to create compliance.
I mean, it was always us, something wrong with us. You're a withholder, you're a liar, you're a 1-1, you're a
You're
degraded
degraded,
being.
you're out ethics. Exactly. It's something, but it's always you. Always. Not Scientology, not the rhetoric, not the adults enforcing it. You.
It's hard to comply with something that you know is wrong.
Isn't that great, you guys? It's hard to comply with something that you know is wrong. Well, imagine where that data apparently wasn't a thing. Inside Scientology hotels and buildings, it wasn't hard for them to comply, to do the wrong thing. In Mojave Desert School, where Alicia went, it was not hard at all for them to comply, to do the wrong thing and kidnap her out of school. To have her sit there in the desert doing what? Nothing. Just literally wasting her childhood away while the child traffickers were collecting $1,000 a month for her to be there as a 14-year-old kid, where she was, again, because she didn't have anyone advocating for her. Oh, should I go to the highway and hitchhike? Because, I really going to get much luckier then. And, thank God that there's some part of you that said, you know what, you can't gamble it, because what was all around you? Oh, truckers at the truck stop. Oh, so it's not child trafficking, but you ended up right next to truck stop where you thought you were going to be able to escape.
Right. That was pretty much going to be my only option if I was to hitchhike. And then I was like, I don't know. I could end up on the ditch dead. Like, that was really my thought. I'm like, it might end up worse. What if I'm like sexually assaulted and then killed? Like, I mean, I'm just a kid in the middle of nowhere. So I just didn't know. And I didn't think it would end well. So that was taken off the table. But yeah.
Yeah.
We have these handwritten, signed and dated confessions of abuse.
Oh my God. They use physiological experiences to manipulate the mind.
It's meant to break you. Palms up.
It was meant to break us, you guys.
It's meant to break. Exactly. I think that's very important that they said that and showed this.
I mean, again, everybody goes, oh, Scientology, it's a cult, it's a this. It's a bunch of sadists, adult sadists, that they all are into sharing children to abuse with full impunity, without consequences, with fuel, money being made, all manner of people getting paid all manner of money to result in what?
Getting our ethics in, getting us to get in line to be good Sea Org members, because that was a breeding ground apparently for Sea Org members. I wasn't lucky enough.
Breaking
I wasn't
people,
lucky enough
breaking
to have
people,
the recruiters. Yep, exactly.
Dehumanizing kids so that they could have their way with you. You were putty
Later.
in their hand.
Mhm.
They did break you. They did break us. There was a point where you could rebel. And I mean, what happened with you? Like, did they ever sort of get to you? Did you have to play their game? How did you deal with that?
So I never finished anything when I was there because I refused to.
Mm-hmm.
So I got in trouble for anything. I was the only girl at the farm location. So the whole goal of being there was you were supposed to do clay demos of every single way to happiness, like in the book, of every single one. And I literally went in there when I finally went in there, because the day I came, I just stayed in my dorm by myself and I self-isolated. That's still my go-to bad habit, right? But I didn't pack my own stuff. So I guess my parents did, because I didn't know where I was going, so I didn't pack. And then their schedule there is you're in school, you're living there 10 days straight, and then you have 4 days off. So on your 4 days, there's kids that their parents either can't have them or live too far to have them brought back to LA, because they would bus the kids back to LA. So you could go home if you were upstat. So if you were not upstat, you were not even eligible to go home. So when I was dropped off there, I still wasn't sure what I was doing there. And they kind of gave me a schedule. Like I had to, we were up at like 5:30, 5:45. We had to leave by, I think, 6:15, because we would drive from our facility to the other facility. The main house is what they called it. At the main house is when you were supposed to actually do educational work. Like you would do, like they asked me what I struggled with in school. And I said math. So that was going to be the one subject that they would teach me. It wasn't that I was getting an actual full-blown education. I still would have been doing whatever weird bullshit Scientology stuff they would have wanted to put in me. And then they would have tried to have me work on whatever the equivalent of like their applied scholastics 8th grade stuff would have been. So it was not a full education in any capacity, even when you did get up there. So I, at first, didn't know what to make of this place. And when you're in the middle of nowhere with no one, it's you're kind of fucked in every way. You can't really run away. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't have been
to a trucker. Yeah, run away to a trucker. Like,
yeah, it could have been a lot worse, right? So you're like, let me just see what this place is. So it was a bunch of boys when I was there at the farm. There was a bunch of boys, and they had their own trailer, or 2 trailers. I don't even know, because there was a lot of them. So they had their own, and they were on one side, and then there's school, and then mine is on the other side. So we're all separated, but in the same vicinity.
damn.
Palms down.
It is a literal brainwashing.
You are at fault. You are to blame.
Palms together, palms apart.
The people that the program most wants to influence is the parents. It was basically a cult.
And we're talking.
The program was most trying to influence the parents. I mean, it's so interesting to see this that is not Scientology related, and then it's so Scientology related, because I haven't even really thought about, the program was to influence our parents. Like the L. Ron Hubbard program, the deals that they were making with the executives at the hotels, at these schools, it was all to influence themselves. But the part that I have a very hard time literally swallowing is the fact that there were incentives and things that parents were getting out of it. For whatever reason, your mom and your dad didn't want you in their home. It was not good enough that you just wanted to go to school. You had to tell them that whatever they were doing in Scientology was so amazing, or else you're going to be dealt with for daring to question Humanitarian of the Year, L. Ron Hubbard. I mean, imagine the audacity of Scientology parents that with a straight face subjected their kids to getting kidnapped for the crime of not being into what they were so into as full-grown adults that they were. And that to me is just so indefensible, Alicia. Like, again, the parents knew you were going to be given ethics handlings. They knew, your mom and your dad knew what an ethics handling was. They didn't send you there without them knowing, I'm just going to send them, like, Kathy Hilton has a lot more plausible deniability because, at least those other programs
just seem more innocent. They don't know. They're not connected to the religion of it. They don't know anything. Yeah.
They're not connected to the program.
Yeah.
The literal program, right? Going back to, yes.
Yeah.
As if our parents weren't being programmed. They're being implicated.
Mm-hmm.
They're being blackmailed. They're blackmailed themselves. They become part of the corrupt cartel. It's a gang of child abusers. It's a disgrace that they call themselves. I was having a religious experience at the expense of all the kids. What type of adult has religious experiences at the expense of kids? It's seriously like, in what world are these people really operating with a straight face, walking around society pretending that they couldn't be more innocent and really wanting to save a world?
Fucking worldwide. It's $1 billion industry.
It all went into this.
And it was just to make this guy rich.
It is human.
It was all just to make this guy rich. So it was also to make David Miscavige rich. It was also to make Mike Rinder rich. It was also to make Debbie Cook rich. You know, in Scientology, the despicable thing about these people is that with a full straight face, they were like, yes, we're saving a world by enslaving children. We're sacrificing ourselves. My God, I'm giving my whole entire life to this, right, Debbie Cook? You were giving your life. You were doing this work pro bono. Just shows you what a degenerate you are, Debbie Cook. Running a place, doing all the actions you did pro bono. Imagine you child traffic children pro bono at an industrial size scale. And you just did it pro bono because you know what? It was so much right along the lines of what you wanted to do, right, Debbie Cook? And you really wanted to make sure that David was made rich because, yes, breaking news to all of you who don't know who Debbie Cook is. Debbie Cook was the one running the hotels in Florida when I was child trafficked. And this other woman named Joke, literally Joke is her name, you guys, was the woman running the program where Alicia was being trafficked next to truck stops, kidnapped out of doing 8th grade. So, I mean, here, I mean, I'm actually really loving to see this graffiti.
Me too.
Not always breakfast. Honesty, communication, courage, trust, life, truth. I mean, it's nauseating, Alicia, because it's like that's exactly what they were running with us in Scientology. Oh, this is all about honesty, you guys. This is really about you having your honesty and really being honest and trustworthy and hardworking.
Human trafficking of children.
All these kids being robbed of normal childhoods, it's all still operating.
Robbers of childhoods. Did you see that? The graffiti.
I love that graffiti, actually. Yeah, I saw that.
Robbers of childhoods. Look at the age of this child, you guys. And once again, look at the diversity of children ending up in these schools. Look at the diversity of children ending up in Scientology hotels or commercial buildings. Because now we're going to say something that the Scientology parents are really going to hate. Scientology was after a very specific parent that bit on their pitch. It didn't matter how much money you had. It didn't matter where you were in society. They took all of that into account, but it all was turning and contingent on what? You providing your children to be abused, to be commoditized, to be shared between anyone in their network. All children of Scientology were made fair game. That's the fair game that Mike Rinder doesn't speak about. He tells you all about fair gaming full-grown adults, for them having all manner of disputes. And, you know, Mike Rinder did not like to be criticized. David Miscavige did not like to be criticized. Neither did Debbie Cook. None of these predators like to hear the word no out of a child. No child is allowed to say no. You say no, you get Alicia. You say no, you go to the Mojave Desert School. You say no, I don't like it. You're the worst of the filth of your parents should be so ashamed. Like, again, because, you know, in the case of Nora, for example, right? And we have these cases of like, Nora was like, oh, I'm a past life clear, daddy. Look, I matter. Aren't you? And it's like, it's just so sick. It's so sick and depraved to see that the intellect of children would be jeopardized for these delusions of these sick parents that, again, it didn't matter who you are or where you are, they'll find you the parent that will be okay with kids being abused and having no problem. Their own public record is being literally questioned. If any of the Scientology parents want to push back, by all means, show us where you have called yourselves out or repudiated anything. Because right now it's cricket, all we can see. So, I mean, what are your thoughts, Alicia?
So I
What are
watched
your
it.
thoughts
I
after
watched
seeing that?
all of it in one night. I really liked it. It was hard to watch, but I think it's important that the kids, essentially, that were subjected to that are doing this. They're being their own advocates, as Serge has said and done and shown and demonstrated. They're being their own advocates. They're sharing their stories, and they're wanting for the adults to be held accountable. There was a lot of adults there that saw different things happen. Some adults didn't see everything, but they saw something. And there's enough things that happen that would make you go, "What is this okay? Like, is this really the greatest good for the greatest number?" Like, I don't ever go by their logic anyway. But if it's them using their own logic, does that even make sense? Because I don't think so.
Well, I want you to see their logic, okay, Alicia? I want you to actually, because you haven't.
I'm not as much. Yeah, I don't
We
know this.
reacted to this video the other day, okay? And this is probably the most nauseating video.
Yeah.
This is called the golden receipt. This is going to be literally, okay, I'm just going to play it. You guys, you have already seen it, most of you guys here, but this is to do with Groomer of the Year, David Miscavige, child groomer. So I just want to play this for you, since you said you haven't seen this, right?
I don't think I've seen this one yet. No.
Okay. All right. So take a look at this.
Do it or see it. So let me make it graphic with the following video. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Now, what I want you to do is coach a student auditor on how to properly handle an ARC break rudiment. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Good. From this pack, read him the questions that are written in black. The correct answer is printed in red right beneath that. If he gives you the right answer, acknowledge him and go to the next question. If the answer is wrong, you flunk him and have him study the LRH reference, which is given right below the answer.
Okay.
Once he's cleared up his misunderstoods, carry on with the drilling from the point he flunked. Keep going through the drills until he can answer every question correctly in the entire pack, all the way through without a flunk.
Okay.
When he does that, give him a pass. Got it?
Yes.
Very good.
So, what are we going to do today?
Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry for my language.
So what are we going to do today?
Oh my gosh. She should be out playing with her dolls and scraping her knees and being outside, not doing this. What? It's insane.
So this is for anybody that was wondering if David Miscavige is a child groomer. Here's the physical evidence, as if he didn't have this little girl call him sir. What type of degenerate is David Miscavige having underage little girls call him sir? Where is this a religious experience? FBI, we're failing to see. And thank you, all of you that are literally holding space for this disgusting video to be seen again, because it is nauseating. Just watch.
Don't worry about a thing. Just please be seated and we'll start.
Sure.
Don't worry about a thing. So for all of you that we've told you a million times, yes, they made us responsible for the adults. Yes, it was our job. Yes, we were put in that position with a straight face. Yes, David used this video to show all Scientology parents that this was very normal. Give me your 12-year-old and let your 12-year-old, 10-year-old, 8-year-old, however old this girl is. And yes, if anybody knows who this girl is, by all means, email me at sergedelmar@proton.me, because it would be great to understand who this little girl was that was being used to groom men and women inside of Scientology hotels, that they could help themselves to this young level of children, which we've already told you. Jenna Miscavige was this old. I was this old. Lara was this old. You, Alicia, were this old. We were all being provided. Marissa was this old. We were all being provided to middle-aged, disgusting women and men that were all about this inside of these hotels.
Ready to start?
Yeah, sure, let's go.
Start drill. You start a session as first action, check the RC break code and reach at the fall. What do you do?
Take up the rudiment.
Good. The PC answers yes. He does have an ARC break. What do you do?
Get the data on it briefly.
Good. The PC tells about the ARC break. What do you do?
Find out by assessment which point the ARC break occurred on.
Good. What do you say?
Was that a break in affinity, reality, communication, understanding?
Good. The assessment reads on communication with the fall. What do you do?
Check it with the PC.
Good. The PC replies that he feels this is a break in ARC, not a break in communication, and does not understand why this assessment is being done. What do you do?
I would indicate it was a break in ARC.
Flunk! The correct answer is clear the ARC break assessment procedure with the PC so he understands it.
You guys just heard how the little girl was supposed to say flunk, right? It wasn't just you and I, Alicia, that heard that. All of you in the chat heard how children were supposed to be communicating.
Baby, that young child, yeah.
I mean, okay.
That's heartbreaking.
Here's the reference.
The coach ensures the student restudies the reference, clearing his misunderstoods until he fully understands it. Then they begin again at the question he flunked and carry forward with the drill.
Restart drill. The PC replies that he feels this is a break in ARC, not a break in communication, and does not understand why this assessment is being done. What do you do?
Clear the ARC break assessment procedure with the PC so he understands it.
Very good.
Now, I would also like to tell you, Alicia, and everyone here in the chat, that when these drills were going to be released by David Miscavige and his goons, all children, underage children, were made to sign $1 million, not years, $1 million bonds. That these were very confidential drills. No one can hear about them. You can tell your parents about them. Like, I was in the Sea Org. My parents were not in the Sea Org. So when I was being drilled as an underage, at the age of this girl already, I was 12 years old is when I started to become an auditor. 10 years old is when I first did my first session. 12 is when I became certified.
Oh my God.
So again, this was the norm, and kids that did this didn't end up at the Mace Kingsley Ranch because we were just adults like this little girl was, you know, like I was yelling at the adults, flunk, you know, like I knew better what L. Ron Hubbard said to do than they did half the time, you know, and they were using our brains. They were using us as that. Mm-hmm. They were parading us around us as we were like some, you know, exactly like what David just did with her. I mean, this was shown at an international event.
Yeah, that's sick.
Of Scientologists. So all of you that go, oh, but Scientology parents must have not known. Here's evidence that they knew. Here's visual evidence that's irrefutable. All Scientology parents knew. All executives knew. Everybody saw this video and thought, what a great idea. Look at that little girl. We already have access to little boys and girls inside course rooms. We already have access to little boys and girls inside ethics course rooms, inside HGCs, inside everywhere they have a hotel. these people that are operating this.
After clearing up the action of ARC break assessment, the PC says that he gets how this works, but is not totally sure.
They continue with the drill, page after page, with the coach asking questions from the drill pack and making sure the students' answers are correct.
So I don't know if you can see there underneath her shirt, Alicia, the bottom is a Sea Org symbol.
Emblem. Oh, that little emblem. Yeah, I see it.
It's a little Sea Org emblem there. So once again, dress up a 12-year-old or 10-year-old, however old she is, I can't tell, to be honest. Like, she sounds like an adult. So she sounds like I sounded when I was exactly her age, exactly like this. And I looked exactly like this too. Like, everything was serious. We were so serious. You couldn't joke. Joking and degrading was a crime. You can't be funny. You can't be anything. You just have to like scream at adults all day. That's the job. Scream at adults. Flunk. So that was the uniform of the kids. And then all of a sudden the FBI says, oh, look, she's having a religious experience, right, guys? Because everybody's seeing the religious experience that this underage girl is having here, right?
On each flunk, they clear up any misunderstoods to ensure the auditor fully understands the LRH reference. They carry on doing this over and over again until he can do it all the way through the pack, from start to finish, with no flunks. Everything that could possibly happen while running an ARC break is covered, from the most fundamental to the most difficult.
You asked for an earlier similar ARC break. The PC says no and the question does not read. You check if there's any more to his last answer and he says no. You put in the suppress button on the earlier similar question and it does not read. You check and validate, no read. Then you check careful, fail to reveal, anxious about and protest, no reads. Then you check not is, abandoned and misunderstood, no reads. You check for a bypass suffix that didn't read. You check for a recession miswithhold and no read. What do?
You direct the PC's attention to a charged area from the last ARC break that was run and find out if there's anything more on that area.
Cool, thanks.
Yes!
So look at all of those adults that are inside of that auditorium. Clapping, happiest as can be that the little man that they all worship, David, the groomer that just pitched them, help yourself to underage kids, and clap away with a straight face. This is what these people do. This is what they clap to. Children are the fair game inside of the hotels. Don't believe Mike Rinder and all his lies. How fair game, you guys, let me really explain to you, is when we go after adults. Who gives an F about that, Mike Rinder? Who literally gives an F what you did to adults? What you did to children, what you groomed, be done by all of these disgusting people in that hotel room, clapping, being so excited that, oh, look, chairman of the board just told us 12-year-old kids are fair game. RTC says you can help yourself to a child inside of these hotels. You can help yourself to a child inside of the Troubled Teen BS facilities that we have, and everything is wonderful and everything is great. And don't we have such an amazing technology here? On and on with the clapping. could not be more excited.
So yes, these new standard tech procedure drills do make it possible for anyone to drill a student to the point of certainty. The key is that every important datum for every technical procedure is included, and so all the coach need do is ask the questions and make sure the answers are as listed. Now imagine there are drills like this for every single auditing skill.
Imagine that, you guys. You just saw her doing the ARC break. Well, there's a drill for when they want to hear about the withhold. So yes, imagine that all of you that just saw that in the screen with us, that yes, go grab your vomit bag. If you feel like vomiting.
Yeah. That's repulsive. That's a young baby.
This is called a grooming film. This is how it was groomed. All that had to be done for our parents to think, yep, my children can be involved in a full capacity because David just told us that this little girl could do it. So then that means all kids are fair game now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's insane. That poor child. I wonder where she is now. I hope she's out.
I mean, I hope she's not in the Sea Org. I hope she's not still being abused, still being, you know, lauded as some sort of prodigy because, oh, yes, you're the one that we really used to groom all people all across the whole entire globe, FBI. This film is all it took. This was the golden age of tech. This was David's biggest release of release of release. Everybody in Scientology acted like this was going to change Scientology forever. Well, you know what? It did. Because this was David's film. Did you have anything to do with that, Mitch Brisker, or not? Were you not part of this film? Who else was implicated in filming this disgusting thing? Where are they anywhere to be found on the public record? Sounding the alarm, calling themselves out, repudiating. What in the hell were they thinking? So.
Crickets. Give a moment for the crickets, Serge. Just give a moment for all the crickets because no one's going to say anything. But
no, that's all we ever get. Oh, nobody knew anything. We were all brainwashed. Oh, you know, we all were in a cult. That's what happens. Oops, shit happens. Yeah.
But you got out. I don't ever consider myself in, but but I still spoke out. Even at my detriment, I spoke out. Same with you.
I mean, again, it's just everything about this disgusting operation is indefensible. So in what world are we in the year 2024 with the type of information that's on the literal public record? This video has been on the internet for decades, you guys. In what world has no one called it out? David is this, David is that. David groomed kids to be abused. And because whatever David said, everybody wanted to do, well, David just told them to help themselves to children. So what?
Yeah. And they could all have left at that point too. If they thought they were just blind to it before, they could have left after that. They could have said, this is where I draw the line. I don't think that's appropriate. This is maybe my bottom line of bullshit.
Well, I mean, again, how are kids supposed to be playing in that type of game? Adults, yes, LAPD. Adult, you cannot be meddling. They like it rough. They like it unhinged. They like it no limits. They like it kidnapping. They like it financially dominate me, drain my account, leave me in the dust. because I'm really getting something out of this. I love these courses so much. Can't get enough of the courses. And yes, no one can stop adults from doing that to themselves.
To themselves as consenting adults, not to others that are not consenting, not to minors that
y'all saw the people clapping. Did anyone there look like they wanted the FBI to come and save them?
No.
Because it was giving, I love it here. I want to be part of this. I'm so excited that, little kids, breaking news to all of us, chairman of the board, Religious Technology Center, David Miscavige just told us, help yourself to a child. Who in the hell cares? We provide you all with underage kids that you could be getting trained by. Here's Serge. Here's Lily. Here's Karen. Here's Dominic. Here's Katie. Here's all the literal underage kids being used to groom the courses. Who in the hell do you all think was supposed to be delivering these disgusting courses that this disgusting degenerate just pitched to all of his consenting adult clapping gullible idiots?
Yeah, you're cheering on the insanity. Hip hip
This
hooray.
was Nora firing off the Celebrity Center after this. The Golden Tech, oh, look, we have a great team. Here's Nora. She's really going to save a world.
Yeah.
Take her from Florida across state lines all the way to California to really go save a world, because she can also be work clearing these references. She can also be doing this. She can also be doing that. And you know what? We're calling BS on all of it. Oneida, if it's my understanding correctly, kids are adultified when convenient, but they can be signed away their rights and thrown away to the hotel or special school. How convenient. Yeah, I mean, they adulticize the kids, and they're always running crisis management. So they're always figuring out, what do we do? How do we do it so that we don't get in trouble, so that we don't get Child Protective Services called on us? They've been working on contingency plans for years, and they have this perfected to an art. No one ever ends up in the radar of the useless, pathetic, good for nothing Child Protective Services. I mean, if you guys have seen the documentaries on Netflix on Child Protective Services, kids that have literally ended up in horrible places, it's like, yeah, it's not, children aren't being protected is the problem, period, full stop. And as long as law enforcement pretends it's very hard to do their job, then I guess we are just going to have to, settle for better luck next lifetime.
Pick a better body next time, huh?
Karmic Peace, the outrage I'm feeling right now needs to be shared. Thank you, Karmic Peace. Yes, I mean, that's the correct thing, you guys. It should be outrageous. It is outrageous. It's the fact that there is no outrage. It's the fact that everyone's going with a sanitized version of what? Scientology was a very religious place. Children were having religious experiences. No one can do a shred of a thing, because you know what? It's all really up to who to figure it out. The kids, when they leave, and they desperately put all of this together, all of this testimony. You speak in the most clear, literal words that you can literally put together, and nothing is ever good enough. You show them video evidence, not good enough. You show them paper, here's the receipts, here's the photos, here's what was being done. No, not good enough. It's all very hard at the FBI. Oh, it's just very hard being us. But, we will collect our 6+ figure salary that we do get paid at the FBI to sit around a desk, literally, rolling the dice and playing poker, I guess. I mean, what else could they be doing if all kids in the Epstein disgusting criminal racketeering scheme got effed? If all the kids that have ended up in these horrific schools end up in those horrific schools, and there's no indictments, there's no consequences, help yourself to abuse kids. and watch the FBI not give an F, and still in the year 2024, they can't do anything right. That's what it's called. The FBI that gets funded by all the taxpayers of this country. Oh, yes, we really have it together at the FBI. Law and order for this country. The child trafficking is a top priority, and it doesn't ever get addressed. It doesn't ever get handled. Nobody gives an F. It's all just a platitude. Oh, top priority for who? For nobody. That's the record. That's the public record, mind you. Like, they can say, oh, where's the evidence that they care?
Did you watch the show? Did you watch the show, Serge? The Netflix one?
I started it, but yeah, I haven't finished
Okay,
it.
okay. So tell me when you finish it what you think, because I would think with all their evidence, they would be able to do something. But so far,
well, Alicia, never mind that the scene of the crime. Okay, going back to this school got off by paying $250,000 for so-called giving bad certificates of high school. Imagine that all it took is for this woman to go inside and see all the paper and see all the evidence that was there.
Yep.
With the FBI, where in the hell is the FBI scratching their you-know-what?
I mean, shouldn't they be making photocopies of every single thing there as proof? I mean, I don't know.
And then again, Alicia, and what was done with all Scientology kids, as if your entire history is not also documented for you. Oh, she's refusing to want to do anything. Let's write it up for her folder, Alicia, that says L. Ron Hubbard is a piece of shit. Oh, she keeps criticizing L. Ron Hubbard. It's like, let me type it up. And, it's like everything you said was being used against you. I know.
I would love to see it, because I know I've said some wild stuff, and I would love to be able to see that.
You said some true stuff, and it was being projected as if you were the wild one. In what world were you trying to go to 8th grade, end up kidnapped, and you were the crazy one? You see what I'm saying? It's like it's all that projection from our parents. Oh, you're the crazy one. Question, Johnny Texans. Question, Serge. What was it that made you decide that you finally said enough? I don't know that there's like a one thing that finally was enough, but that when I had already left, when I already had my own autonomy, when I had made some money to not be dependent on them, and they tried to come after me to give me a committee of evidence, that's when I told them to, I was just like, I was 35 at that point, but it took for me to have all of that already in place in order to then, for the first time, rebel. Because opposite to you, Alicia, I was always in line. I was always going up the bridge. I was always supposedly lauded as this great person that had all this training and did all this training. And no, it took till like midlife crisis breakdown, where, philosophy, nothing makes sense. It's all backwards and upside down.
Yeah. Yep. It's true. And that little girl, it's sad. Incredibly sad.
Alicia, thank you for sharing your story with us. Yeah, Alicia, I mean, and thank you for, again, you have all the receipts. You guys see the thumbnail? That's credit of Alicia. That's her showing a receipt of what those trailers were, where she was being left there to, again, be abused. And you saw other kids be abused, and you saw all the dysfunction. Nothing makes sense in these places, you guys. Nothing made sense.
Nothing. Yeah.
She's not 12. This is a criminal organization. I know, Beach. I mean, she could be 10. She could be 9. I mean,
8, right? She's young. Whatever she is, she's too young for that.
But she looks like an adult, so you can't even know, right? Because she's all like in this like Sea Org uniform with a dress shirt. Like, who does that?
They took the childness out of her, essentially. They stripped her of that. It's sad. It's very sad.
They don't give a shred of an F. Yes, Competent Chris. They don't give a literal shred of a literal F. is, again, children are the fair game of Scientology parents and Scientology executives. And we are calling you out and we're telling you to stop. And if you've already stopped, then make it stop for other kids that are in there right now. And if you haven't done anything about that, then do something about it and don't make it someone else's problem. You go do it and you go and stop it.
Yeah. If you saw it, then yeah, say something, do something, be the adult.
Hi, Circus Rider. They do not get how creepy that is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Incredibly creepy.
AF. Yeah. It's just like all of you guys are literally vomiting. I mean,
yeah.
We put that out, that question to Mitch Brisker. Did he put this film together? Did he know? Did he watch it? Was he there at the event? Because even if you didn't do it, Mitch Brisker, you've seen the event. So the pitch was there for everyone to see. So it's you and all the other people that were filming these grooming films that normalized this to be done at scale. Because yes, apparently all it took for the magic trick to work was what you guys just saw pathetically pitched by David, the groomer of underage kids.
Yep. And they clapped for who knows how many minutes. Standing ovation. Hey,
Hi,
Paul.
Poe. Good to see you.
Hope you're feeling well.
Children cannot consent. That's
Right.
all that needs to be said, you guys, over and over and over, so no one can play dumb. Not the police can tell us, oh no, children can consent. This is all very great. This is all very wonderful. No. No, LAPD. Turns out that no. Even if you're a degenerate, you don't get to change the power dynamic imbalances that get on in these hotels and commercial buildings with underage kids that do need of your help. And meanwhile, you're swatting the protesters. Anyone who protests children being abused in this level isn't getting swatted. In what world do we have all of these literal so-called law enforcement agents swatting grandmas in Texas, swatting Jessica Palmedesa in the hills, falsely accusing people of crimes? Imagine we come here with our first-hand testimony and receipt. Again, with everything we discussed here, you know, Alicia, you went through that experience. You were literally kidnapped. Kidnapping a child is not, you know, a small theft. It's not a misdemeanor. It's not a misdemeanor. Kidnapping a child. Let's just put it out there for people to really start thinking with it. Shambot, accountability and admitting your part is the bare minimum of the beginning to heal, and the head of a guilty person does not rest easy on the pillow.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. What else did you hear, Serge, about these schools? Because I know there was a handful of them.
Of these scroll of the what?
Of the schools. What else did you hear? Because you were in, so you probably heard a lot of different things that I didn't hear until I was there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like a handling, a method to deal with kids, especially. I mean, the worst type of kid was the one that didn't like L. Ron Hubbard. If you didn't like L. Ron Hubbard, if you wouldn't go, and you know what? It's like some of them didn't like it. Some of them could not understand it, you guys, because again, it's so complicated, convoluted, disgusting. And even when I thought I understood it, it's like, it's taken me years to understand how little there was to understand.
Yeah. They wrap up this whole thing in this
understand.
nonsense.
It was
To
all
always
just
keep
a
you
bunch
busy.
of utter nonsense, and all pitched with this gloss of we're really going to help you here. And everything was role plays, extreme role plays with children's where their comfort level is not considered whatsoever, where they cannot have a safe word, where they cannot say stop, where whenever they got triggered, there was something wrong with them, and do it more and abuse them more until they really desensitize them to the point where they're just like, okay, yeah, whatever. I want Harvard some genius. Yay.
Whatever. Yep.
I love what you're doing to me. Wonderful. And you know what? No. We're saying no. That's not okay. That's not normal. And no more kids need to be subjected to this. This is an urgent matter. We cannot sit here for the next 10 years yapping about this with nothing being done. We're not here to just blab and blab and blab. We bring the same point over and over because there's so much that develops literally from this troubled teen industry showing itself up in the corporate media. I mean, I guess Netflix is now the corporate media because, you know, no news station has touched this with a 10-foot pole other than their glib, ridiculous statements of, we're going to really tell you what's wrong with the billion-dollar industry of the troubled teen by doing a segment of 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, America, you know, here it is. Oh, this person said this, this person said that. It's all alleged. Bye-bye. Let's go find where else can we make money.
Yep.
That's the only
story
news that the corporate media is interested in. That's it. There's nothing else they're interested in. It's like, it doesn't matter what it is. They don't want to investigate. They're just a bunch of typers typing whatever they can regurgitate. That's very safe to talk about. Nothing is investigated. Nothing is gotten into the weeds of. Everything is a superficial AF. I mean, exactly what Tom Cruise told them. Exactly what Tom Cruise told Matt Lauer, you're glib AF. Imagine Tom Cruise was literally telling on himself. Except that Tom Cruise was telling Matt Lauer that he was glib AF about psychiatry, and he didn't realize that he's glib AF about Scientology, Matt Lauer. As if he wasn't just inviting Tom Cruise there to get the clicks for the corporate media to get what they want from their advertisers. That's all they've ever given an F about. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. Oh, we're making money. Oh, yes. Breaking news, you guys.
It's true.
Pathetic imbeciles. All of you grifting, ridiculous, pathetic imbeciles, leaving kids in harm's way. ABC News, laundering the image of Debbie Cook with a straight face. Oh, let's have Dan Abrams. Oh, what was his name? No, not Dan Abrams. It was I forget which the name. Dan. You guys remember Dan, the guy that was interviewing Debbie Cook? I mean, imagine that we would have handled anyone like that inside of the hotel. Alicia, like, it's unthinkable that they would just like, so what did you do? Oh, so David beat you? Oh, it sucks. It sucks that David beat you. And are you very traumatized that David beat you? Can you tell us more about the beatings that you got from David that you were a full-grown woman for? Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, you really are trying to blow the whistle. You're really trying to tell people to stop donating money so that David doesn't get buildings. Instead of giving money so that more children would end up locked up with adults inside of hotels. That's what Debbie was so pressed about in her email, Alicia. Like, she was like, oh, David is asking you to donate to the buildings when you should be paying for your bridge. Well, paying for your bridge was these adults paying to be locked up with minors inside the Fort Harrison, the Sandcastle, the Celebrity Center, the AO, the ASHO, the whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know, the troubled teen industry in Scientology is a problem. They have their ranches. We're going to be bringing you more receipts. And we're going to be bringing you more conversations with more survivors that are coming forward from these exact ranches, you guys.
I have not spoken to one person that has had a positive experience. I will say that. I have not yet spoken to one person that had a positive experience. Most people that I know that were sent there were sent there for ethics handling because they're out ethics, or the worst one is because they were SA'd underage, and so that's where they ship them off to get their ethics in and their overts off. Because
I mean, imagine that was one of the exit plans kids got.
Yeah.
You guys, I would say if you were, okay, you want to have a surefire way they'll get rid of you, get essayed and then tell on yourself. Never mind that the repercussions, how they would react against you. And that's what Scientology is used to purport, that they're so against it and so ethical and so highly morally superior. Oh, because we really do yell at kids that get essayed. We treat them like literal pieces of shit.
Like shit,
so, see, we told them all to never do it. Oh, never do anything sexual.
Right. What did you do to pull it in? And the amount of, when I was there, I think it was technically the teacher. He wasn't a teacher, but the person in charge of us was a young male. And the amount of inappropriate things he talked to me as a 14-year-old girl about is endless. And I mean, like, I don't know how much you want me to say on here, but filthy, disgusting stuff. And I'm just like, what? Oh no.
DOA about to get swatted again. So yes, continue swatting the protesters and all of what we discussed today. Thank you, Eric. Everything that we discussed today, you guys, is even just more relevant because, again, the child traffickers never get swatted. The child traffickers, no matter how much evidence you produce, it's never good enough.
Yep.
But all the protesters that have been falsely detained, falsely, literally arrested, falsely swatted, oh, we just have a really hard job here at the police. So, so we really want to thank all of you for being here today. We're going to be continuing covering more of that. So any final words you want to end with, Alicia?
No, I think there's so much more to talk about with this. Like I said, I haven't talked to one person that had a positive experience. No matter what facility they went to, no matter what year they went to, no matter what their teacher or whoever was in charge at the time, every single one of them has like huge traumatic experiences that they've shared. That some will share, some won't share publicly. But it's one of the few things that when I looked up as an adult, because I was trying to understand what happened as an adult, it was one of the things I really couldn't find any much information on. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I ever spoke out on YouTube, was to be able to share some of the stuff that I've remembered, and some of the, like, I have some of the pictures. I will black out other people's faces for their own privacy.
Just because they're minors. I mean, pictures of minors should not be on like that. So I get that.
Yeah, and who knows if they want to speak out in that sense. They may be so.
Well, they need to be advocated for. It's like people should
Yes.
see them. Like at the end of the day, it's a tricky subject because it's like, if we do keep their faces blacked out, then they don't exist. And it's like maybe sometimes, the other day somebody mentioned that, due to a photo being shown, that extended family of somebody was like, oh my God, I think that's this person. So they were able to get in touch about it that way, and again, all kids that were brought in through this need advocates. All kids that are right now adults implicating themselves in all of these disgusting, unthinkable things need to be advocated for. I mean, my heart breaks for all the kids that I was with at the time that didn't leave, that did what they were told was the right thing, to stay there in that hotel. And it's like, no, I mean, I find it unthinkable that they're still just left there forgotten, and everyone acting like they deserved it and that they know what in the hell they're doing. Because that's the thing, Alicia, like, children that are brought through this program, they don't, like we said already in this film, they already broke them, and then they made them into something. And it's like, you know what? Without the consent, they're not at fault.
No.
They're literally most of them at the maturity level of still I mean, they're all in this infantile, disgusting game inside of the hotels. You know, it's like, oh, we're playing a game. Did you get your statistics up? Did you get it? It's like, it's all talking this like corporate mumble jumble, disgusting.
Right.
So my last words, my last words is, you know, these schools need to be shut down. There cannot be a hotel, a commercial building operating in the United States where there's laws on the one hand that says child trafficking is illegal, and on the other hand, these people just put a couple of marketing things on their wall, and then all of a sudden the child trafficking is legal. So by all means, the Crimes Against Children unit at the FBI, start rolling up y'all's sleeves. Stop playing dumb on the sidelines. Stop literally swatting protesters that are protesting the child abuse or trafficking. Use your resources to actually get your hands on the evidence that all of these abusers have on their hands. The evidence that you saw in this documentary is nothing in comparison to what any of these so-called law enforcement agents would find inside of a Scientology hotel. Lucky to y'all, Scientology has immaculate, perfect records of all their crimes, already documented, to make all the cases so easy for all the attorney generals that are sitting there like idiots, doing nothing, charging nothing, and purporting that child trafficking is a legal thing as long as you have $1 billion in your bank account. Jeffrey and Jelaine did it. The Troubled Teen industry does it, and so does Scientology.
Yeah.
Oh my God. DOA is getting swatted right now. I mean, DOA is getting swatted right now. As we're talking about child trafficking and what goes on in these horrendous, disgusting institutions, it's just another day of law enforcement wasting, not just wasting, also sending a message. This is intimidation by the LAPD. Stop talking about the child trafficking. Don't talk about it. He's on the ground.
Hope he's okay.
I mean, hold on. Let's go. Is it on the DOA stream, you guys? They're watching the lives at the department. Well, imagine that they're watching the lives and they're listening to us and doing nothing.
Besides swatting.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you know what really could help us right now? I can't find his live. Can you guys tell me where his live is?
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Thank you, MB. Where is he at, Alicia, so I can put it up?
He's DOA is live from his original account, it looks like. D.O.A. And the cops are up on him right now with their stuff drawn. I don't know if you can see this.
I can't find it. Come on. DOA live. Because his icon, no.
Yeah, they're arresting him right now.
Oh, here.
Or
Oh,
cuffing him at least.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Fuck, this is the second time he's done this to me. You know who the fuck I am. Scientology's a cult. I'll roll you over to your left. I have reconstruction. Sit up. Put your left leg over your right. All right, I have reconstruction surgery on my up. Ow! Fuck! That's a psycho! No way, man! No, I don't. Scientology's a cult! Scientology's a cult! Stop child trafficking! Scientology! Smart ass, go fuck yourself. Bunch of fucking skinheads. You're a bunch of fucking skinheads. You have to make fucking pie. Give me back my fucking black socks that you stole from me. Put me in cage for 6 fucking days. I got out. Where the fuck are my black socks? Where are my fucking black crew socks? Give me back my fucking socks. He ain't fucking reject. Fuck you, bitch. There's nobody in the car, you stupid fucking skinhead fucks. No, fuck you. There's nobody in the car. Don't get the information, you fucking skinhead. Fucking Nazi pig. Little lapdog to the Church of Scientology. You're all fucking lapdogs. You're lapdogs.
Oh, God. I'm actually gonna add this one.
That's all you want. A dirty pig. Scientology guys more than LSD and anybody else. That is not expired. That is not expired. It expires in January 2024. December 2024. You fucking fucking pig. Let me the fuck out of these cops, you fucking pig. You stupid fucking pig. You're a fucking stupid fucking pig. Let me the fuck out of cops.
There were a lot of weapons drawn, folks. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know what to tell you. I just live here. Why'd you unsubscribe for? I don't care if you unsubscribed. Oh, you want me to zoom? Sorry, folks. I'm. There you go. If I zoom in, you won't see the other part where the car's being.
Thank you, MD.
Thank you, guys. Wow. Sorry, guys. I was asked not to go near there. I'm not going to go there. You know what I mean? These guys, they're crazy, man. You know what I mean? Let me see if I could try to get closer. But I was, what could I do? I don't know. I didn't see that part.
He wasn't like moving from it. Like, he was doing nothing.
He didn't do anything, right? See, even people are.
Scientology's a cult.
We will. You guys could actually zoom in later if you guys pull this video. Any YouTuber watching is welcome to use my content right here. Just say you got it from Nerd Report, of course, but Content King. He's calling himself the Content King right now.
Is he streaming right now still?
I don't know. Is the DOA still live?
Scotty, where's your phone?
She's right there. Don't ask. You want to get it? I'll go with you. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna grab her phone. It's maybe still streaming. Don't let her grab the phone. All right. We can't grab. All right.
Oh my God, you guys! They already stole his phone last time.
Do you know what the calls were for, officer?
Somebody with a gun.
What's your serial number?
My serial number? 41907.
Officer, no one has a gun here, man.
Yeah, no, we figured that out now.
Yeah,
If somebody calls it in, we gotta act like.
I understand, but it's been a lot of times,
Yeah,
and we
you know who might have called?
no, and the people that are getting protested. Yeah, so, but it's been a lot of times, and then like honestly,
Have you
like
talked to detectives that they keep doing this to you guys?
detected. I mean, it's all over the internet, like hundreds of thousands of times.
I know these stations.
Yeah, and it seems like there's no communication. They called one on me in Hollywood to see. Yeah, well, because I gave my friend a tripod. You know what I mean? And they pretended, and it's like all the time. And I know you guys are coming in from real calls.
Yeah, they shouldn't be doing that because we don't know.
That's kind of fed shit. You know, like that to me is really, really bad because someone got really hurt.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
give us a second. We'll,
absolutely.
Obviously, he's upset. We get it, but he'll be on his way.
Because it's been a lot of times on him, right?
I understand.
And we're on the sidewalk, you know?
Yeah, just give us a sec, all right?
Absolutely. Thank you. We're good. It's us. We're good here. Yeah, we're good here. No one has anything. You go back in this video. He's not doing anything wrong. Nothing. No one's doing anything wrong.
Yeah, we have the record.
The dog is the most. How you doing? All right. I'll ask him later. Could you all trace calls? Is that a question you guys could answer? Okay, so whoever called could be traced. if it's a false call, right? Is that something you think could happen? Or does it have to be through detectives? Do you know? Through detectives? All right. Because there's a lot of false calls. Someone's going to get hurt, you know? Yeah. I know him. He's not, I mean, I'm a reporter, so I cover the news, and this is news, you know what I mean? So, excuse me. Because it's tied to celebrity Danny Masterson. I don't know if you know who that is. From a 70s show, he got arrested for, well, he's in jail for R-ing, you know, the R word. And the church was covering him up. So that's why the protesters are out. So he's a content creator, protester. So.
Apparently he called on himself.
He doesn't.
I'm letting you know today he called on himself.
He called on himself, you're saying?
Today.
Hundreds of streamers online right now.
Okay, well, they're saying, but he was streaming, though. They're saying he's streaming. Okay. Huh?
Well, then there'll be video evidence.
There'll be video evidence in? I didn't see him. I just saw him streaming now.
All YouTube channels, the largest growing protest out there. I am DOA, defender of that.
You guys saw those claims. You guys heard those claims? I don't know. I'm not a detective. They have more resources than I do, obviously. Or it's a lie. I don't know. The hell? I need water. Thank you, Brett. Are you guys aware that the fire department was called as well, like earlier? Okay. Twice. Within an hour before.
An hour?
Yeah, about an hour before. Yeah.
No. Oh.
I'm a victim. This is how you treat victims? Fucking psychopath. System is rotten. Fucking morality serving. Got no fucking no fucking
Who's here? Laura FM's here? Laura in the house?
What now, LAPD? What now?
Oh boy.
Yeah! You're not, don't act like you're unaware of what's going on. What now? What the fuck now? You look at me like a woman. Let's go. What now? What now? This is insane. I was a child trafficked in this fucking cult. This is insane. You guys are all part of this. Yeah. Fuck you. You laugh like that? You laugh at that? You laugh at that? Don't fucking come here. Fucking idiots. All of you. And you stand back like, oh, I'm not part of it.
fucking do your research. I was raised in this. I fucking know it. Don't fucking arrest people calling the shit out. Fuck you. Don't smile at me, you fucking idiot.
What the fuck is going on? Leave him alone.
Idiot.
You are
all you wake up. You're either part of it or you know what's going on.
Oh, shit.
We're never going to shut up. Ever. Ever. If your kids were in this, you'd fucking be proud they were doing what I did. Fuck you. Fuck all you. How dare you grin at us? You think if you did this is PTSD right here. This is insane. You keeping a fucking record? Find out who made the fucking call. Every single time. Find out who made. Don't look at me like that. You fucking newbie. You idiot. You're an immature fucking idiot. Yeah, your little smile.
It's just unthinkable, you guys. It's like they sit there and smile as if Scientology is also giving them the courses to just sit there and smile as they're being called out for not doing their job.
He's been out here. You guys watch his screen. He's been out here for 5 hours. There's no way you could watch what he's doing. Every false report is on you guys now. You know all the lives you're watching. We're done.
Oh, look who's here.
We're fucking done. Fucking walk around here with your fucking fake ego attitudes.
You keep forgetting who feeds you guys. Who puts food on your table?
You don't touch any of it. You don't touch
The taxpayers. I just got to work so I can pay your freaking salary. This is what you guys do. I just got to work and this is what you guys are doing. I see where my tax dollars are going. Freaking ridiculous.
Shit, there's more of them.
Horrible. We want to back you up, but you make it so freaking hard.
I mean,
intense.
Laura's stream up now.
Serge, do you need to go? Are you going to go there? Or you don't know yet?
What you have to do? This is what you do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A fucking helicopter. All so stupid. You look like fucking immature little idiots.
Leave him alone. He doesn't do anything.
That's what I do.
Don't touch any of his shit. You don't touch his fucking chair and give him his black fucking socks back while you're at it. And do the research if you're wondering why we say black socks. What the fuck are his black socks doing in his bullshit arrest when he was detained for fucking 6 days in jail for nothing, for doing this?
Horrible.
I can control my anger. This goes to you. It goes to anybody who fucking protects this.
We took his socks. Guys, I want my socks back.
Yeah, this is all Scientology, guys. This is your fucking neighborhood, just as it is mine. Scientology calling it fake threats when we're calling them out on their illegal bullshit. Where the fuck is our protection when they're fucking at us? Huh? Where's our 8 cars? I hope you guys wake up and realize, oh, damn, this is way fucking bigger than this, than your job, what you're doing. You should know better. You're a female. You literally should know better. Fucking unbelievable. Our taxpayer money pays you to do this. They don't pay taxes. They're a fake fucking religion.
Freaking ridiculous.
How dare you?
Guys. This is what they do to us.
Look at this little fucking idiot. You're such a dumbass.
Fake calls. Fake calls. This is where my tax dollars are going for this. Get him out of here and cook.
Unbelievable. What is he still doing in handcuffs?
The officer told me I was a victim of swatting, and if I want to do a victim thing, get him out of handcuffs.
Get the fuck out! Yeah.
Hey, Black Top, get him out of.
Where's the supervisor? Who's the supervisor? Where's your fucking? Oh my god, I'm a fucking loser.
Yeah, who
Like, you guys are actually robots. This is robotic. We have a huge emotional issue and you're standing there like not fucking doing anything. Do the right thing. Get him out. Get him out of the handcuffs. Oh.
They already checked the van. They already checked the van. Why the fuck is he still in handcuffs? That fucking the one officer, Fred, the fucking. Right there, street. Those two over there. Those two over there inside the car. That one right here. This one right here. Over there. Over there.
Fake police call from Scientology, and they do this when we're protesting against Scientology, and they fucking waste all this and they know what's happening because they're watching his stream. They're watching him. Yeah, they said, oh, they had some victims in the van, in his fucking home. That's where he lives. That's his van. Sorry that his life isn't up to your fucking standards. That doesn't call to arrest somebody.
Exactly.
Idiots.
They're total idiots. Child trafficking protectors. There's who protects all the child traffickers. Breaking news, all of you. All of you who are wondering who protects
Lose the ego.
Right
Let him
there.
out.
You're
Get him
looking
out
at
of
them
handcuffs.
right now. Who enables child trafficking in the city of Los Angeles? You're looking at them right now. These are the child trafficking protectors. Who enables systemic institutionalized child trafficking? You're looking at all the officers that literally enable child trafficking at an industrial size scale in that blue building.
They can't. They can't literally move without their own heart, without using your own heart.
Are any of you honest? Are you honest, officer? Can you uphold the Constitution? Can you please uphold the Constitution?
I can move his camera. Move. Yes, I can. Excuse. Yes, don't touch me. Do not. Yes, you are. You're fucking touching my boob. Move. Do not touch me. I'm allowed to move the camera. Excuse you. Stop. Why are you touching his camera? Don't touch his camera. He asked me to move. Don't. What are you doing? What is he doing? Know your laws, man. And put it on him. He wants it on him, on you. You guys are fucking idiots. Oh, I'm such a threat. Is my voice threatening? You think I'm going to start anything? No. I want you guys to listen.
Make a fucking fool out of you. Get his ass out of handcuffs.
Idiot.
Sergeant, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit there and put a website up about this. I'm gonna come to your neighborhood. I'm gonna put up posters in your neighborhood talking about how you're violating people's rights.
Child trafficking protectors and enablers. You're looking at them right now.
They do this every time we're protesting. Yeah. Scientology calls a fake false GUN or BUN. And this guy, Scotty, the defender of Vance, he comes out and he protests every day, and they hate it and they can't stand it. So they keep calling fake false huge arrests or fake things like he has victims in his van because he's being effective and people are hearing him and they don't like it. And he's on a live stream and there's lots of people watching. And now they're all fucking watching you. Multiple live streams, all watching you. This is right here.
Oh, the main one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So this is his van, and they clearly know what's going on. And here they have at least 30 fucking police officers. Anytime somebody wants to fucking speak out against Scientology and calling, bye, Felicia. Get the fuck out of here. Go do something real. It's unbelievable. I disrespect you. Wait until I maybe will respect you again. Yeah, I'm talking all y'all, all of you. Do the research, and then maybe when you can email me, you'll figure out who the fuck I am and let me know. I will not go back and protect Scientology for these fake calls. I would appreciate that. Lara FM, and look up SPTV on YouTube. That's as simple as it is. SPTV, suppressive person. These are all children like myself that were disconnected from our parents, no longer allowed, even though I was born and raised in this, I had no choice. So this is insane to me. I get PTSD when I see 20 top, supposed to be doing something good. Most of you look like you have a good heart. It's very upsetting. No, we don't understand. We want you to understand. This has happened fucking every single day. Okay, I want you to do the research.
Hey, I think we met
Yes, we have.
the other day.
Yes. Hi.
Hi, I'm sorry that it's gotten
I love you.
We were driving by.
You're like, is that Laura's voice?
It was.
You're like, I hear her. Am I tripping? I love you. Oh my God. Bye, honey. Thank you guys for coming.
It seems like it's really kind of picked up.
It is. That's why there's more SWATs and more police cars. So do the research.
Can I grab your number and then maybe we
I love Laura. I just wanted to say that. I love that you guys are out there in the face
Oh
of
my God.
what a interesting turn of events today.
Well, and again, this is like,
True. It's not just today. I vouch for Michael. I heard him say that. I know. It's often. It's ridiculous.
it's their escalation of violence and corruption and not wanting to help any children that were trafficked in these hotels, any children that were abused. So again, the LAPD wants to send a message that in our literal live stream that we do find out that they're watching for themselves, they can see that we're talking about child trafficking and the protesters get swatted. Not the child traffickers. You would think the child trafficking would go, oh my God, are you kidding me? Children cannot do this. Do we really have to go help them? I mean, it's...
Yeah. I mean, people have been sharing this for decades, and it's been going on for months, the protests. So how do any of them not know? Any of them?
It's just not possible. It's not possible. They're doing it on purpose. So imagine in what type of world, thank you, MB, in what type of world can we have a situation going on like this? And yes, be very respectful, and it's like, they won't listen to us. They won't listen to us with respect. We won't listen to them if we yell. It doesn't matter what we say.
It doesn't matter.
Always.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how you say it. They're not listening. Because that would mean they would have to do something. And since they're not going to, they can't legally, why would they listen? That makes them have to fight themselves and their humanity more. Fighting the cognitive dissonance there.
And it's like, damn, like, it's just so disgusting.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, disgusting.
Kids are in trouble in the troubled teen industry, you guys, and so in Scientology. So,
yeah.
Thank you for everyone in the community that is helping us and is supporting us and is hearing our plights and are listening to these unthinkable things that we have to advocate for, because again, there's not enough information that the LAPD will take seriously.
Yeah.
They seem to always want to side on the side of the child traffickers. So if the FBI doesn't want to do it, if the LAPD doesn't want to do it, then who are children supposed to rely on? What type of chance did we stood not getting abused? Imagine back in the day when no one gave an F, when no one advocated for a shred of child. Imagine we're doing that right now and literally live as we speak. Another swatting is literally caught on tape. That's where they're effing themselves every single time, you guys.
Yeah.
Because again, it's no longer someone, oh, you're projecting on us that we're just bad and we're just trying to do a job that's really hard. You're not doing a job sending that many cops to do nothing but waste time.
Yeah. And when we get off of here, if you guys would go and support everybody that's live streaming out there, please. They deserve all of that respect.
They don't know because they can only follow orders. They obviously aren't smart enough to research for themselves. And imagine you collect 6 figures as a salary. Imagine that your job requires you to have the intelligence to connect dots. If something doesn't make sense, if people are continuously showing up protesting what these disgusting people are doing, and right now to children, mind you, the LAPD had the ability to play dumb when children were not being advocated for. The LAPD did have that ability. They're like, oh, adults want to do it. Oh, you said it happened. You said it didn't happen. Okay. This is incredible, sad AF. Yeah. Thank you, Running Bear. Thank you, Marina. Yeah, I mean, to see this again and again, you guys, I mean, it's like, I mean, I can't say so triggered anymore because we're getting so numb.
Numb and immune to it, yeah.
It's just numbness. It's just like, oh, this is just what they're gonna keep on doing. Like, this is all they got. Like, we're supposed to really go, oh, okay, well, never mind. Let me allow for kids to continue to be child trafficked because now you're swatting. Oh my God, God forbid I get swatted.
Yeah.
We can deal with you as adults, LAPD. We can deal with you as full-grown adults that we are today. We're not MF scared. We were scared when we were kids. We were scared when we didn't have people that would advocate for us. We were scared when no one would have given an F if you would have shown up and abused us and no one saw it on a live stream. I mean, at least we do have all of our communities that are standing up for this and watching and saying, hell no. That's disgusting. What in the hell's going on? Oh, he called it in himself. Imagine that they're lying on the public record with that level of stupidity, putting public statements such as that. It's like, really? That's what you want to really go with? How did you get, why is this swatting going on? Oh, I think he called it on himself. Meanwhile, again, streaming works in such a way where you cannot be streaming and simultaneously making a false, oh, I really need to be swatted right now, is what we're being told DOA was doing. That he was having his live going on, and then all of a sudden he was like, so these people are literally infantile level of lies that they are so willing to put so easily on the public record as they laugh at Laura, getting in there and getting in their face, angry AF as you should be, because we're sick of it. We're sick of being told to shut the F up. We're sick of being told to hold it together because, you know, the law is very hard to apply. The hard thing to do is to abuse kids with full impunity. That's the hard thing to do. In what world is stopping that? The hard part. LAPD leadership that approved this swatting call. Mayor Karen Bass, that's off in Paris, living it up, doing nothing to do anything with Scientology, as she shared the stage with David Miscavige. Karen Bass, in your entire office, please advise. Were you so tone deaf? Where you almost lost your mayoral race if it wasn't because you went to Mike Rinder to really tell everyone how, oh yeah, I really want to do something about this. And meanwhile, you were full of shit, Karen Bass. It's horrible.
Truly, truly horrible.
Yeah. SWAT seems like it's extreme. Extreme on the heels of what we're discussing again. You guys, that's so unthinkable to me. Like, we can't even have a live stream reacting to all of your abuse without it getting swatted. Our live was swatted.
Yeah.
You know, interrupted. To as if they're not literally trying to make the point themselves for themselves, because you know what, that's all they're doing. Again, it's like they come in, they have nothing, they just come in and do these exercises that are supposed to do what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To distract. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, you guys, we're about to end off, and we thank you all
Yeah.
for being here. We were going to continue responding and showing you guys more receipts of what Scientology does to underage kids that the LAPD doesn't give an F about. Because that's what we're going to have to do every time they continue to play dumb. More receipts are going to be shown.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining, supporting, listening, and holding space for us. Serge, you're doing an amazing job. I'm really happy that you're still out here doing this. I say still because you have been doing this for a while. And there's a lot of progress because of you. So
Well,
proud of you.
Well, our progress is with baby steps, you guys. And imagine that the progress includes no shred of guardrails for a shred of minor. As much as we want to believe that we're doing a great job showing up with you guys and telling you as straight as we can, bringing you as many receipts as we can to make our point, and then still the kids get the same exact level of depravities perpetrated on them. And the LAPD shows up to what? To send a message, don't protest this, go find something else. No, we're not going to find anything else. Kids are in danger. They don't have the luxury of people just, okay, it was trendy to do, and then let's not do it trendy. We live in the city of bullshitters, where trends mean a lot. Influencers that are influencing what? What are all the influencers in LA doing? Plenty of influencers showing up to La Pubelle, by the way. Plenty of them still going to support unthinkable things. And where's the rest of the influencers in LA really influencing anything? Why are they not standing up to the systemic institutionalized child trafficking happening in Scientology, commercial hotels, and buildings?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.